I get that. So the other night I went to, it was the wrap party for Question Everything. All the episodes available on ABC iView. Check them out over the summer. Because I'm not on social media anymore, I even went a step further. I'm like, I'm going to this wrap party. I'm not going to take my phone. I don't need my phone. Like, I'm going to go and talk to all the people who worked on the show, like have conversations with them. And like, what do I need my phone for? Like anything that, you know,
can see who the Bulldogs took in the draft.
Right. Yeah, all that information will be available to me in a few hours from now when I get home from this thing. You know, there is nothing that will happen in the next 2 or 3 hours that is so urgent that I need to know about it while I'm at this rap party. And I did not take my phone to the party. And the only time that became a problem was when I was telling a couple of people at the party about a funny video I had on my phone. And then I was like, I'm going to have to send that to you after this party. But apart from that, that was the only, and it was great. I was really into it. And I think like, I want to return to that idea of, you know, like I'm not saying that I don't want to be communicated with at all, but I just like that idea that it's on your own terms.
Yeah.
That, you know, like you said, if I want to know who the Bulldogs took in the AFL draft, it's not like that information was released on a Snapchat that will dissolve if I don't check it within the next couple of hours. It will still be available to me.
It's not Mission Impossible.
Right. Yeah,
like
that's right. We've drafted these
strap.
guys, and if you don't see the information within 5 seconds of it coming out, you'll never find out who the Bulldogs have drafted.
That draft period. So I was recording a Two Guys One Cup, my club with Broden Kelly, and the draft was actually happening at the time. So we were actually talking about it as we were recording. Two Guys or One Cup Summer Series, my club, out now. Adam Zwar and Broden Kelly. By the time this episode comes out, you can check it out. They'll be playing all summer
on the Listener app, exclusive to the Listener app.
Exclusive to the Listener app. But we were sort of like talking about the draft picks, and it's like, oh, that's right, it's draft night. And then afterwards, I saw who the Saints picked up. And then I've spent the last like 2 or 3 days looking at all the highlights packages of the 4 young draftees we've picked up. And Gemma was looking over my shoulder, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Oh, it's the Saints. The Saints picked up in the draft." She said, "It's videos of teenage boys running around,
just watching
playing
some
sport,
hot, sporty young teenage boys." Yeah, it depends. If you
the
search
context
draft,
is
if you
so
search draft
important.
highlights, that's fine. If you search hot, athletic, sweaty 15-year-old boys, then suddenly you go onto some government watch list.
But it sort of got me thinking, I know it's been in this sort of comedy zeitgeist. I've seen a couple of stand-ups at least make jokes about how absurd it is that I follow these boys. You know, I'm obsessed with these boys who wear a number because I have an affection for a university or whatever. But it did start me thinking about, is there a point at which this is unbecoming? Like me getting super excited about it. Because I was like, oh, look at these teenagers and they could be anything. You know, maybe this is the path to the promised land and stuff. But then I'm also a 45-year-old man looking at like a video of a 17-year-old playing, you know, state rep footy. And like, is it unbecoming? Like at what state, if I'm 60 years old and I'm looking at video highlights and I'm not involved professionally in football, does it become strange at a certain point? Is it like, if I met a 67-year-old guy who's still way into his Marvel movies and stuff, I'd be like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that you got something, but it's unbecoming.
Oh, I don't think so.
Really?
Like, I mean, firstly, they're almost legal. 17-year-old boys. It's not.
That's not my primary concern, but actually it's probably, it should be. Yeah.
No, but I mean, you're not looking at them in some, like, I mean, the comic conceit is that you know, but you're looking at.
In any other context, following teenage boys around would be considered weird.
Yes. But also, I don't think it's weird to, like if I walk past the skate park, like yesterday I was walking past the skate bowl in Bondi, and there was just these like I would imagine like boys from sort of like 9 to 14, I would say, just such good skaters. And I stopped and watched them skate for a while. And like, technically, yes, I was like a stranger lurking by the skate bowl, like watching, like, you know, but I wasn't like watching them in like it wasn't turning me on.
Yeah.
Like I was watching them because they have like a great skill at what they do. And I was impressed by the skill of what they do. Like there wasn't anything like it's sad and weird that that there should be anything wrong with that, because like there shouldn't be, because if my intentions are like pure to enjoy some young person enjoying what they're good at and like see their skill, I don't think there is anything weird about that. I think it's sad that we live in a world where, you know, obviously people have corrupted that because there are people who are bad actors in those, you know, sorts of situations. But it's the same thing about, you know, young athletes. It's like these people play these sports at a young age, and watching somebody young be able to perform a skill that is normally, you know, performed by adults, there is something really intoxicating about that. I think it's cool.
I think what I'm talking about specifically is not so much admiring an athlete or admiring someone who's skillful at something. It is is it unbecoming to have that kind of giddy fandom? Like I'm reacting like a One Direction fan might react, you know, with the release of a new album about these new crop of draftees. Like I'm excited. I'm reading everything I can. I'm texting my friends about it. And it's like, at some point, does that become unbecoming? It's not so much.
Why is it unbecoming?
I just, cause it's like, grow up, like get out of it. Like
do what?
Why are you putting all your dreams and hopes?
What should you be doing? Oh, sitting down, looking at my tax file number and like what receipts I've put in this year and how many deductions
I'll
get.
People tend to do, don't they?
But I mean,
what I see old people doing.
Is that what you want to be doing with your time? Like, what would you rather be doing with your time? What do you think would be a better use of your time? I mean, like,
I don't know, spending time with my wife and kid.
Boring. Like,
podcasting with my mate. To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Tofop.